This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. We're in New York, baby. Joined by Anthony Joshua. Do you want me to do the whole, what titles you have?
Nah.
No?
Nah.
You sure?
Yeah.
How are you?
Good, you? Long time?
Has been a while. Last time I see you was actually after your fight.
Yeah.
Seems
3
like
months. Coming up to 3 months.
What have you been doing here in New York?
I was actually in Portland before New York, training, learning about team building and all that type of stuff, trying to improve my training camp. And I finished early there, so I come to New York early. I'm here for the Canelo and Rocky fight with the Zone. And I just chilled out for a couple of days as well in between. So now it's fight day, Saturday. Leave your predictions in the comments as well. And I'm just I have been chilling out prior to fight day as well.
All right, let's jump straight into it.
Ooh.
When the whole Fury-Wilder thing was going on, you kind of really didn't say a lot. I think I only saw one interview with you with William Hill, but you didn't really kind of say a lot about the fight prior to the fight. Would you just didn't really have an interest in saying anything about it, or?
I think we do talk about it amongst my friends, my family, like boxing team, but that's a different conversation to what I have I don't know how to explain it, like social media maybe, because I don't put it direct on social media. Yeah, maybe it may seem that I don't have an interest in it, but because I've got my own, when you've got your own conversations happening still, and your life's still ticking over with your mates and your family and stuff. Yeah, we spoke about it a lot. It was an interesting fight. It was a good fight that they made. We looked at why that fight happened and mine didn't, in terms of what the opportunity was, what the finances were, because that was a big factor as well, why the negotiations broke down and stuff like that. So then obviously leading up to it, then when the fight happened, I watched the fight a couple of days after and caught up on the action.
So from an outside perspective, I'm not saying this is everyone, but some people, especially here in America, they kind of look at your situation with Wilder and think, this is long-winded. We're hearing these Eddie Hearn on one side, Shelley Fink on the other side, Wilder, Joshua, blah, blah, going on for months. It's not happening. Yeah. Fury and Wilder, get it on, announce it. It's done in literally 2 or 3 months. The fight's on. They've had the fight.
It's good. It's really good.
So they look at that and think, well, what's the problem with you
I think it's the first time that I've really had issues on the financial side with a fighter. So let's say, for instance, that 50 million we spoke about. Listen, it's a hell of a lot of money, and it was an honour to even have that number thrown at me. But then when you dissected it and what it was just kind of like a rights fee. We own you for this amount of money. But the issue that I had is I've got long-standing contracts in places with certain partnerships. So you may put that money forward and think you can own me 100%, but you may only own 50%. So that makes their 50 worth 25. So when you start getting into the intricacies of a contract and what the real value is, then that starts taking place. So that's what I'm saying. The 50 was unbelievable. It's a great number and so on. But there are things in place that don't make that 50 worth the 50 to the person paying it. So there's that. Then,
do you accept the 50 million was there? Because when you talk to your promoter,
me personally, I'm sure
the offer wasn't there.
That's what I'm saying. The real, looking at I haven't seen a bank statement, or it wasn't in the escrow account, so I didn't see that, to be fair. But I'm sure that America's a big place, and there's a lot of wealthy people that would be interested in backing a fight like that. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not saying that the money couldn't be generated, but for the time it was needed for this fight that we were trying to plan, it weren't there in time. So, and that's what I say is we offered him, 12.5 with an upside, blah blah blah. He said that was like slave labor, and then he fought Fury for a lot less. So each of their own. He has his own plans and so on and so forth. But yeah, so that's with the 50 and with the offer that we made him in return to have the fight in UK, in our backyard. Was a lot more lucrative than him fighting Fury. But I've got to give it to Fury, coming back after a long layoff. And I think, it seems like it would have been an easy touch to anyone. People think when I fought Vladimir after having 12 or so months out of the ring, even with training camps when he was ready to fight Fury for the rematch. But, imagine having 3 years out of the ring and fighting someone, you think this is going to be a light touch, but he went in there and done his feints and all that type of stuff. And it was a close fight.
What did you think in the 12th round? When he Well, Wilder pretty much did knock him out. He got up from...
I just think he was tired. I don't think Wilder couldn't hit him like, flush, like a highlight reel knockout. I think Fury, as you said, from 3 years out, when your body's just not the same as it was. So that fight would have made his body stronger and so on and so forth. So I think he was just tired, needed that 5 seconds to kind of gather himself, and he got up and continued.
You don't think he was actually then out and then woke up quickly? No.
Tired. When you where you're tired, your body gave up, but his spirit didn't. When you're out cold, your spirit's not intact, your body's not intact. I think that he just went down tired 5 seconds, and then spirit was just like, I'm still here. Got up and continued to fight. Yeah, that's my opinion on it. Because when you get hit flush, like your spirit and body disconnect. You're not with it. But his spirit was still in him, and it kind of rose him up, and he realised, hang on, I'm still fighting. Got up, continued to fight, continued to box with Wilder until the final bell.
What did you make of the fight in general?
Good fight. Yeah, good fight. I'm not going to dissect it now and stuff like that. Analyse it and punch stats and...
That's Eddie Hearn's job.
No, that's not Eddie. Is that Eddie Hearn's job?
No, he pulled out the punch stats.
Did he?
Day, yeah, because he said he was trying to justify why he was saying that it wasn't a great fight and he was pulling out the punch stats.
Look, it was a good fight. But
the fight as a whole was quite dramatic.
Exactly.
It kind of ticked all the boxes.
Exactly, especially with all the build-up, like Wilder was using my name and blah, build it up. And then, with what's happening in the division now, he's fighting him, why aren't you fighting him? Boom, them fight. It was a big fight. Then the dramaticness behind it with the knockdowns and the class in boxing skills and all that stuff. It was a good fight. You can't deny it was a good fight.
You tweeted, I think it was about around a year ago, to Tyson Fury, get fit, you fat fuck. That was your tweet. Yeah. You did an interview with Max Kellerman on First Take 2 days ago. Yeah. And people have kind of picked up on the fact that you said that you're not really interested in Tyson Fury. Yeah. You've explained why. It's because he doesn't have the belt.
If Tyson Fury wants to fight April, fight me. But 1 minute, it was all about one face, one name, whatever that quote is, right? And I agree. That's what it's about. So if Fury had the strap around his waist, of course I'll be mentioning Fury. But if Fury does want to fight April, let's get it on. But then the conversations we've had, it comes down to these figures again, just silly numbers being bandied about, and it's an interesting time. It's an interesting time, but it's not that I'm not interested in Fury. It was before. It was all about the road to undisputed. That's where I was going to, is the road to undisputed. And but if the fans want me to fight Fury and have an interest in that, I'd fight Fury in a heartbeat.
Eddie Hearn says that you, on a personal level, would fight Tyson Fury.
On a personal level?
On a personal level, there's Tyson Fury, the belt aside, because Wilder has the belt, you want all the belts, so that's the fight.
Exactly.
If you could have kind of a pick, Eddie Hearn suggests that, indicates that it's Tyson Fury.
Do you know what I think? We should have 2 champions in the UK right now. How amazing would that be? I think Fury should have his hands on the WBC, I'd have my hands on the rest. And we would be fighting in the UK, and it would be a great time for UK boxing, a great time in history as well. So I think it's amazing that we're leading the pack. It is unbelievable, I think, that we are leading the pack in the great heavyweight era.
People also picked up on your comments about the lineal status.
You know what it is? Lineal, you have to beat the man. What's it?
The man who beat the man, which Tyson Fury did.
No, Lennox Lewis was the last lineal champion. Lennox retired. They didn't reinstate the lineal status, did they, to anyone, and said, we are now reinstating the lineal belt. So no one beat the man who beat the man.
I think Vladimir Klitschko was considered, at the time, the man to beat.
Okay.
Which Tyson Fury did back in 2015.
But as I said, and you heard my statement on that, so that was where I viewed it, is that if you don't beat the man who beat the man and all that stuff, because they retired, then I wasn't aware that it was reinstated. So let's say then Vladimir Klitschko was considered the lineal champion, fair enough, and then Tyson beat him. And no one's beat him since then. So if Tyson wants to hang on to that, let's go. So we'll add that to my collection when I fight him. So that's how I kind of see it. I keep it simple. As I said, my interests were WBA, WBO, IBF, IBO, WBC. Yeah. So that was where my interests are. But if I add in lineal to it, then I've got 2 more belts to go. And that's two big fights that can happen next year.
Who's the front runner for you at the moment for April 13th?
Who's the front runner? To be honest, in my head, how I'll do it is Wilder. You know, from all the talk that he's talked about and what he wanted, and looking at, as I said, the intricacies of finances, as I said, that offer, which is an unbelievable offer, and I had great interest in it. Like, it's a blessing to even be talking about them figures coming from where we come from, and then looking at the offer that he fought for when he defended his title against Fury. That fight could happen next because, you know, in terms of figures, then it's a lot more lucrative than what he was fighting Tyson Fury for. So that should kind of balance out the risk and reward factor of fighting me, especially that he can get his hands on all the titles and become the champ. So I think Wilder should really consider this offer. I'm not chasing Wilder. It's not that I'm desperate. I'm just saying that both of our schedules are free. I had a mandatory in my last outing. If that fight wasn't negotiated in time, then I would have been stripped. So I continued to fight and face my mandatory. So now we've both got our schedules free. He hasn't got no mandatory. I think Wilder would be front runner. If not, 100% Fury, like 1 foot behind him. It's not a big gap. Fury and Wilder are the 2 front runners because they're good fights. And then anyone else after that, anyone in the top 5.
Because Dylan Whyte was being mentioned as a
Dylan Whyte's a good fight. Dylan Whyte's a good fight. And if there's anyone that I want to fight, especially break bread with internationally, he deserves it.
What if Chisora beats Dylan Whyte next week? Is Chisora in the mix or not?
David Hayes mentioned it. So yeah, he's in the mix. He's a heavyweight, he's in the mix. Definitely, he's in the mix.
Usyk, is he in the mix?
100%, yeah. 100%.
So you're not really short of options for that day?
Nah, at all actually. Yeah, that's what I mean. Is like, but if I am like pinpointing where I would go, as you said, I'm heading to the club over here, but there's 5 on the way that look good. There's always options, but ultimately I know where I want to get to. So that's kind of where my head's at with it. That's where I want. There are other options on the way that look just as good, and it has to make sense as well. Do you know what I mean? It has to make sense as well because, you know, it's a bit of a hard one now. You fight in big stadiums. You can't fight Joe Bloggs from around the corner. You've got to make sure that they're solid fighters. And I put myself in that position early on in my career, you know, comparing like I could have been doing this towards the end of my career, but I've done it early on. So now I've got to deal with like big fights, big names, which is good because it kind of puts me under pressure to improve. So I know in the next, what have I got left in boxing in the next 10 years, I'll be a much better fighter in 5 years than I am today because of that pressure and learning and developing in stadiums and all that type of stuff.
It seems like, obviously not even reading between the lines, but Fury and Wilder both believe that they're entitled to an equal split in a fight with you.
It's fine. You don't get what you're worth, you get what you negotiate. You know, so that's fine for them to believe it.
But that's something that I'm assuming that you wouldn't be willing to do to make the fight is a 50-50 split.
It comes into mind. It comes into mind because of the fact that it's like, let's just get it on. And I don't like talking about the figures and all that stuff. I'm not really like,
But these are the reasons why the fights are not happening, surely, isn't it?
Do you know what the best thing to do is just go off of where one is, let's say figures or percentage splits or what they've earned, go off of what one's earning, what one's earning. One wants to take their earning potential to here, and then the other person's already earned that, so their potential only goes to here. So why is it that you have to balance it out. Both of you have to rise. Not one could outrise the other. So it's like, if you're earning 10, I'm earning 5, why should I go and earn 30 and you only go and earn 17? That's saying my uplift can't be so drastically higher than yours. It has to kind of balance out together. So if you're earning 10, I'm earning 5, you should move to 25, I should move to 15. Then we both have moved up. What's the word? Simultaneously.
Okay.
We have both moved up together. So that's where I'm coming from. So that kind of takes away all of the fantasy of what I want, what you want. Look, if it was me, I think I want what, 75-25, if I could. Do you know what I mean? That's what I think. I got 75% of the belts. I want 75% of the split. But in reality, it's not like that. So it's a bit of give and take.
So,
but with that aside,
yeah.
look at what one's doing, and you'll boost it up and make it more lucrative because it is about risk and reward. Do you know what I mean? Wilder's thinking, all right, it's a good fight. I'm risking X and my reward is X. Does it balance out? No. Revisit, and that's where it comes from. But my thing is that, look, if you come and fight me and you believe you're good enough to beat me and you do beat me, you hold the keys to the universe. So don't think of it on day one. Think of it long-term strategy. Don't worry about now. You know, secure your fight. Believe you can beat me. Do what you have to do to kind of get in a position to win. Train hard. And then if you do beat me, you're the best in the division. You demand what you want.
So you don't feel like you're what Wilder was suggesting the other day, I think, on the Joe Rogan show, like the forgotten man at the moment of the heavyweight division?
Look, it's like, it's a good time for heavyweights. Do you know what I mean? I think it's a good time for heavyweights, and the pool's massive. The pool was never the Anthony Joshua show. The pool was never the Wilder show or the Fury show. It's called the heavyweight division, and we're all part of it. So, nah, that's what I mean. It seems that there's so much attention on me. Even, like, as I said, I'm not out here tweeting and doing too much interviews and talking. But it seems like everything's like, oh, I see that they want to have a fight on April 13th. Now I'm the forgotten man. It's like, focus on what they're doing. It'll make them a better person. Don't worry about what I'm doing. They should just focus on what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know why there's so much attention on what I'm doing. Maybe I think because I came in, you know, early on in the game, and I worked hard, kept my nut down, and I'm taking over. And no one likes that. People want to see you do well, but not too well. And I can see that envy coming out of them now.
Loads of people want to see you fall.
Yeah, it's part of the game.
Part of sport.
But you know what it is as well? It's not about, it ain't about sports. It ain't about sports. Like, okay, I beat Tyson Fury. That only means I'm a better boxer than him. It may not mean I'm a better person than him. So as I'm saying, for the short term, it means I'm a better boxer, but there's Tyson Fury, life after boxing and so on. So, yeah, people want to see you fall, but it's all about long term. You're always going to get back up. You may fall in the ring, but 10 seconds later, a minute later, you get back up and life continues. So it don't really matter. People want to see you fall, but it's honestly about long term. My success may not be in the ring. My success may be seeing my son strive in life, seeing my family crack on. Do you know where I'm coming from? Everyone's success values are different. So what meets the eye is one thing, but what is beneath, there's a lot more to what success means, in my opinion, to a lot of people. So yeah, I'll never fall, man. And if I do, I'll probably fall on cloud 9 because I've gone too far.
Final one quickly. Gerald Miller is in town as well tonight.
I was in his city, baby. I was in Brooklyn, baby. I went down to Brooklyn, you feel me? I was getting love out there, it was good. Yeah, man. BK, stand up.
He's going to be at the
yeah, man,
Square
cool.
tonight.
Yeah.
You're working for DAZN, so
yeah, that would be good. As I said, I was in Brooklyn. That was good. You know what I mean?
Last time you two
backyard.
met, you got a little bit aggravated. Is that the right word? With Gerald?
That wasn't me too aggravated. No. You know what it was? That's what I'm saying, like all the internet talking and all that type of stuff. Like when you see me, you see me. Like, okay, like it's not like that Two-Face thing, like, how you doing, Coog? You all right, man? You know what I mean? Behind closed doors. So it's one of those situations where you're talking one thing, then he sees me, and like when I'm not into that type of business. Even if you notice with my fights, like Dylan, want to talk a good game, we don't talk after the fight. I think even Brazil, we don't talk after the fight. Parker, we didn't talk after the fight. You can see who, like Povetkin was respectful, I go and shake his hand. Klitschko respectful, I go and shake his hand. Like, there's no two faces with me. I'm like either one or the other. So yeah, with Gerald Miller, you know, when you talk that talk, when you see me, you've got to kind of back up all the stuff you were saying. So yeah, that's where that stemmed from, really. It's just me as a person. And yeah, I'm back again. As I was saying, we're all in the same division, same era, so it's going to be hard for us to like not fight each other and avoid each other. We're going to come face to face, so you just got to be careful what you say, because you're going to get confronted one of these days. And like you bring up a lot of these things from the past. You said that, so you're confronting me from an interview perspective. I'm going to be confronting these guys from a fighting perspective.
I'll say it to your face on the phone, wherever.
All right. What else? But we touched on the subject. So, for instance, we've got the finances, the reason of the 50s. We've got what I offered previously to what he accepted to fight Fury. So why didn't he take that fight with me? We've got like, what else was there? My views on the fight. I think it was a great fight for both of them for heavyweight boxing. But I do think that as well, Fury done a great job, but also it's important to, go to someone's backyard and dominate them. You have to dominate them. What was the next subject that we touched on?
Potential opponents, obviously, for
potential opponents. My key spot and final destination is X and X, but there are other opportunities along the way. Let us know your thoughts as well, because I'm not, as I said, like same thing with the Povetkin situation. I'm not going to sit back and wait around. You know what I mean? I've still got a career to fulfill, and there's still other heavyweights out there that want to become champions. So give everyone an opportunity. So there's that. Next one.
Are you ducking or are you begging? Which one is it?
Is there a third option? I'm just fighting. I'm just fighting. As I said, April 13th, I'm going to fight anyway. So yeah, so there's no ducking. As I said, I'm willing to fight. Just don't outprice yourself. These heavyweights, don't outprice yourself, number one. Begging. Yeah, I am begging. I want to become undisputed champion of the world. I'm hungry for it. So yeah, I am begging for that. What's the other one?
No, that was pretty much what.
Just so we can this is the conclusion part
of
the interview.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So just outline the message out there is you will fight anyone, whether it's Fury, Wilder, or whoever.
Have I got look. The way I'm about facts and stats. You got a person who had 10 years in the game and a person who has 5 years in the game. Yeah, I've had 7 heavyweight title defenses. I've fought the majority of the top 10 heavyweights, and I'm going to continue to do that. Then you've got the other guys. It shows where we're at. Like, compare careers at the same time. Go back, Fury and Wilder, 5 years, and put them in line with me. You know where I'm heading in my career. I'm doing it. So any one of them that wants to step up and fight, let's rock and roll. And if I weren't in a position, now put me in the same position I am now, fighting, no titles, whatnot. None of these boys want to fight me. They only mention my name because they want to earn some dough. None of them would really want to fight me if there was no reward. It's because of the reward balances with the risk. They wouldn't fight me if there was no reward. So that's what I'm saying. Don't get too greedy, because it's a great time to be a heavyweight, and it's a blessing that we've got all the support we have. And there's enough on the table for everyone to eat. You know what I mean?
Everyone's got to eat.
Everybody's got to eat, baby. So yeah, Canelo Rocky, go fight. Looking forward to that one. Looking forward to watching Ryan Garcia. Looking forward to being in MSG. Hopefully I'll be out here one day as well. What else?
I'm on a time restraint now.
No, is there anything you want to ask before we finish?
No, we've spoken about what already. Is that all right? Yeah. No, we've spoken about it. It's just if you had anything that you wanted to add, or you kind of have.
I think look,
you haven't said.
Yeah, I'm not going to control the public opinion and so on and so forth. But as I said, it's simple. I am begging because I do want to become undisputed champion. But if it's not the right time, I'll let Fury and Wilder have their rematch. And that's not Wilder's priority to become undisputed champion. So I'll focus on what I've got to do in my own lane. And to me, that's not ducking, that's not begging. It's because regardless of who that belt surrounds, whether it was around you, I'll be begging you for a fight. So it's not about Wilder as such. I want that WBC belt because that's some real history, man. That's real history. And if Fury and Wilder do rematch, good luck to Fury, because it will be good to have 2 British heavyweight champions. That'll be unbelievable. And then imagine our fight as well.
The biggest ever.
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV. Yeah, you gonna have a little workout now before you finish, or not?
Don't touch the weights, mate. That's not what boxers do. Stay off them weights, boxers.
All right, cool.